And new tariffs are set to kick off in this week. This round of tariffs is targeting foreign exporters and being touted as a way to free U.S. consumers from relying on products made abroad. Joining us now is Abijoy Burnett. She's normally our legal affairs correspondent, but has been really digging into what the tariffs could potentially mean for this country and abroad. And Abijoy, what can you tell us?
Hey there. Well, we do know, Andrew, that President Donald Trump has been talking about these potential tariffs for quite some time. He's been talking about this since he's been on the campaign trail, and now that he is back in the White House, the tariffs are closer to reality. What we do know, according to economists, is that these potential tariffs could affect the consumers. Long-teased tariffs are set to go into effect this week.
This is the beginning of Liberation Day in America.
On Wednesday, President Trump says reciprocal tariffs are on the table for all countries. And on Thursday, 25% tariffs on foreign-made cars and auto parts are set to kick in. The White House says they will raise hundreds of billions of dollars and spark more companies to produce their goods domestically. But many economists say consumers will pay the price, including economics professor Keith Maskus.
In the end, it is pretty much always the domestic consumers that pay almost the full share of these tariffs.
That could mean higher prices for cars, groceries, housing, and other goods impacted by the tariffs.
The share of consumption that low-income households pay for tariffs is much, much higher than it is for middle-income or higher, wealthier consumers.
Tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China alone could cost the average household up to $2,000 annually, according to an analysis from Yale University earlier this month. President Trump is referring to Wednesday as Liberation Day, but many American consumers are not optimistic about the impact tariffs will have on them. According to a new CBS News YouGov poll, 72% of Americans think the tariffs will increase prices in the short term, and less than a third believe it will drive prices down in the long term. And we still don't have all the details with regards to these tariffs that could kick in later this week. For example, how many countries are actually on this list? President Donald Trump wants to impose the same level of tariffs on all of these countries as they have imposed on American goods. What we do know, though, is that President Trump reserves the right to change his mind, and we could see some last-minute changes. Andrew?
Yeah, Abijoy, if these tariffs do go into effect on April 2nd, and that is honestly a big if, when would consumers potentially start to feel the impact?
Almost immediately. That's a quote that we got from an economics professor earlier today. But this is only with regards to certain goods. For example, produce that we rely on that come into the United States from other countries. So we could first see those impacts in the grocery stores when people go to the grocery stores to get their produce or anything else that is imported into the United States. Many people are wondering about cars. What about cars? At this moment, there's about a 60-day inventory for cars on the lots here in the United States. So that lot and inventory has to run out. And then if that happens and nothing is pretty much worked out with these trade or tariff wars, that's when people could start to see those higher prices for those big ticket items, for example, an automobile.